Across Europe, two air masses are still negotiating their space. What stands out in this setup is not a gradual evolution, but how sharply the model guidance keeps changing. These are not small corrections, these are broad, structural changes in the flow, affecting pressure patterns, wind directions, and temperature distribution across large parts of Europe. That persistent volatility is what makes this pattern worth slowing down for. Hey everybody, welcome to the weather breakdown. Right now, the big question over Europe is a simple one. Which air mass will gain control? Cold continental air is still trying to push westward, while we still have the serial cyclogenesis regime bringing low after low after low from the Atlantic with milder air. Those two air streams will meet and clash over Europe. Now, the outcome of the struggle matters because it determines where we will find the coldest temperatures, where to find precipitation, how that precipitation type is going to fall, which regions remain active, and which regions remain calm. So in this video, we will look at how that tug of war is evolving, which scenario is favored currently, and what that tells us for the next days ahead. Let's dive in. Now, in the beginning of the year, we mentioned that there was going to be a northwest to southeasterly regime where along that flow, disturbances will come to fruition and impact the European mainland. We are now January 18th, and this process is still continuing. The serial cyclogenesis regime with low after low after low coming from the Atlantic is still ongoing. If you go further, you will see that still happening. We have here number one, we have here number two, we have here number three and number four in its wake here, right? We have here number five, we have here number six, we have here number seven, we have here number eight. So there are still lows being formed over the ocean, okay? While we have here this regime currently of high pressure. Why is it a high pressure regime? Well, it's not that difficult to understand. If you go here, this flow goes around here, circles back around this. This creates an anticyclonical circulation. There's convergence happening high above the surface, leading to a high pressure area which extends towards here. Meanwhile, you have low pressure center here with this cyclonical circulation like this, and you have this flow bringing in low after low after low from the Atlantic. Okay, we can see that in motion currently. Again, if you go forward, you can see all these lows bashing here the European mainland. Okay. We still have this anticyclonical circulation here with a high pressure area extending that way and that way. This whole region is dominated by high pressure. If you go forward in time, you can see more lows coming in from the Atlantic. And what you can see is that each of these lows will start to manifest themselves and go further and further and further southeast until they start to accumulate there. We will see that in motion here. I'll keep these annotations so you can see what I mean. There's another one. You can see it's now here. There's another one coming. There's another impulse coming. It's now here. This one also joins this. And you can see as it joins this, the magnitude and the size of this low pressure area keeps intensifying. What does this do? On the north side of this cyclonical circulation, you have airflow coming in from the east towards the west. I'll leave the annotation so you can see what's happening. Okay? We can still see the same thing. Nothing changes. What does change, however, is that you see here, let me erase everything. You see here by the very tight spacing of the 500 millibar height lines, there's an intense jet maximum going that way. Okay, let's rock the loop forward so you can see what's happening. You can see that jet maximum going towards the south. And what does that mean with this low pressure center? It also gets dragged a little bit in that direction. Okay, if you go forward in time, you will see that transpire in that way. And there's even another impulse here. Let me erase that one. There's even another impulse here going towards the south, dragging all these lows here also towards the southeast. You go forward in time, you will see that happening. And what you see here now, as this flow here starts to reorient itself more in this direction, this low coming from here will start to migrate towards that location. I will rock the loop a little bit back so you can see what's happening. You can see that happening right here. And as this happens right here, you have two engines here. One engine funneling cold air in its north flank toward here. This engine here in its north flank towards there. So we have air coming from deep in Russia over to Western Europe here. We're looking at the GFS model, by the way, now. So if we look at the temperature field, you can see the same thing, MSLP field here and the high pressures and the low pressures. Okay, let us dive forward. What we have said numerous times already is that we are expecting this regime from northwest to southeast, bringing in low after low after low, and they will position themselves in this location. We will see what that means in the temperature field here. I've drawn these annotations so you can still see the flow here. We have all these lows now going here, okay? And as we've already mentioned, this sets up on its northern flank here, this regime where cold air to its north is being pushed towards the west, aided a little bit by this anticyclonical circulation. That way, you see, it's bringing in that colder air from deep over Russia. If we go forward, let me erase these ones here because we don't need them anymore. If we go forward, we will see what happens with this high pressure area. As this low pressure area here starts to move in that direction, it pushes out the high pressure area more towards the east and the northeast, but it still has this cold air advection towards the west on its northern flank. Let me erase that one here, and we go forward in time. Okay, we still have all these lows here, and check these flows here. It's still funneling all that cold air towards the west, and you can see already like the boundary, it gradually keeps moving towards the west and the west and the west. We go forward, we go forward, we go forward. You see this cold air keeps on pushing further and further and further west. Go forward in time, you will see that happening. More impulses and more impulses and more impulses. We will have probably a few days that are complete ice days. So what we see in the European model is still the same. We have this northeast to northwest rather to southeasterly flow, where along this flow, low pressure areas are forming and are going to join around here. We still have this high pressure area here as well, as we have seen in the American model. If we go forward in time, we will see that transpire. All these lows here, they are going to accumulate there as well. Nothing changes from the GFS model, still the same. Nothing changes. We still have this high pressure area here. And we will see again that this low pressure area, as we've seen in the GFS model as well, moves towards the northeast. But it's in an elongated form here, meaning that there's going to be airflow being directed towards that location, leading to eventually a high pressure area here, although a temporary one. If you go forward in time, you will see that transpire here. We have this high pressure area here now, okay? But we still have all these low pressure areas around it, moving air like that. We have a low pressure area here, moving in like that. We have a low pressure area here, although my detection system doesn't pick it up. So this high pressure area is surrounded by low pressure areas. And we still have these ones that are being pushed here from over the Atlantic. Okay? These ones, all these lows are bringing in impulses from over the Atlantic towards the west as well. You will see as these low pressure areas here continue their influence on this high pressure area, here with cyclonical circulation like that, here with cyclonical circulation like that, it gets pinned off and it gets ejected towards the east in that regard. If you go forward in time, you will see that transpire. As we mentioned, it still moves east and northeast, as these low pressure areas will start to conglomerate into one bigger one. We will see that happen in a short while. If you go forward in time here, you will see all these low pressure areas here, they started to merge actually here in this big one. And this big one seems like a very good engine as well to start funneling on its northern flank the cold continental air towards the west. We have this high pressure area here as well. So there's a small high pressure area aiding in that regard as well. If we go forward in time, let's see that transpire. We have this low pressure area now also moving here, reorient itself, bringing in this nice cold flow over the European mainland. Also, as the GFS were saying, as far up to Spain here, where the temperature will not exceed freezing temperatures throughout the day. Now, if you look closely at the models from the last few runs, you probably noticed a common theme. Number one, it was very jumpy. Models were fluctuating left and right. Also, they kept postponing the timing where the colder air from Russia will start to invade Western Europe. Now, even though the European and the American model now share a similar story, that agreement has not been stable at all from run to run. And when you see signals like that, it's very easy to step in a sort of confirmation bias where you start to look for the one model that still corroborates the story that was in your head. I try not to get caught up in hype and everything, so I try to look at the situation as objectively as possible. Even I have been genuinely wondering whether winter would still be a thing, if it would still come, because of this postponing behavior of the models. For now, I'm not going to give you a definitive answer on that. We will just let the new runs come in, process them, visualize them, and then where an agreement starts to hold for a longer period of time, we will come back to you with a new video. For now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.